Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am Moribe Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Nigeria, labor demands wage increase, seeks special allowance. It's a miracle that Nigeria is still warm, Redeemed Church overseer. Bad roads, insecurity, major challenges of NIPOST in Nigeria. Buhari meets with 23 freed Kaduna train passengers. Another angle of the world news, tension in Enoch as unknown gunmen attack vigilante members. Lagos, Nigerian slam police for covering faces of officers who extorted money. Power-drunk Nigerian High Commissioner in Kenya, Yunusa, bars citizenship. And in sports, Super Eagles defender Sanusi pens new 2-year deal at FC Porto. And to the local scene within the Nigerian football, Eyimba completes signing of 5 new players. Now the news in detail. The Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has asked the federal and state government to urgently look into the plight of Nigerian workers due to the current spiraling inflation in the country and grant them allowance to cushion the effect of high cost of living. The Congress also argued that the registration of 2 new university-based unions, Congress of Nigerian University Academics, CONWA, and National Association of Medical and Dental Academics, NAMDA, was a violation of the Labour Acts. The call by the organized labor came just as a civil rights lawyer, Femi Aborishade, has advised workers not to reward the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, with their votes at the forthcoming presidential elections in 2023. Speaking Thursday at a roundtable meeting in Abuja on decent work situation in Nigeria, NLC President Mr. Ayuba Wawa said the workers were going through enormous challenges presently due to the harsh economic situation, which he said was compounded by poor and irregular wages. Wawa said it was regrettable that despite all the strikes and protests undertaken by the workers to improve the condition of teens in the country, not much had been achieved. He said that time has come for a change in strategy as strikes and protests alone have failed to. He said though most countries in the world were going through similar economic challenges, the situation was better in those countries because their government responded to the challenges by providing some allowances to the workers. Moving to the next story. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has said it is still a miracle Nigeria is won till date. Adeboye said this on Friday night during the 2022 International Youth Convention at the Redemption Camp, Mowe, Ogun State. I will tell you the truth, that Nigeria is still won up till this moment is a sign of a miracle. It shows God still answers prayers. But if you want something and you haven't got it yet, you will pray more. After all, God said, pray till your joy be full. Whether you believe it or not, one day I will believe, and it won't be long, our joy will be full, he added. He therefore declared 7 days fasting and prayer, saying there is a God on his throne, and it still answers prayers. From November 26th to December 2nd, as many of you as possible are invited to fast and pray with me. It's only for 7 days. We want to pray surprisingly for ourselves. I will tell you more details later, but whatever is going in Nigeria today is the fault of us Christians. The church is the only organization in the world that is bold enough to say we are children of God. So we are the people called by his name, and that is why they call us Christians. We are the ones to pray if we want our land to be healed, he explained. Moving on to the next story. Mr. Ibrahim Musa, the head corporate communications of Nigeria Postal Service, NIPOST, in Kaduna, on Friday said bad roads and insecurity were the major challenges of the organization in Nigeria. Musa said this to the news agency of Nigeria NAN in Kaduna on the sidelines of the road show to mark the World Postal Day. He said bad roads and insecurity had been impediment to the service delivery in all the nooks and crannies of the country. The theme of this year's celebration is Post for Planet. Musa lamented that the state of the roads in some locations of the country had frequently caused breakdown of their vehicles. He also said insecurity was also a challenge that had limited the service of mail deliveries in parts of the country, noting that it was a setback to the development of NIPOST. Our staff are not too safe traveling all over Nigeria for mail deliveries, he said. Musa, however, said that the patronage of narcos in Kaduna State and Nigeria as a whole was very impressive. And to the next story, President Muhammadu Buhari has met with the freed 23 passengers of the March 28, 2022 Abuja-Kaduna train attack at the Nigerian Defense Academy NDA Hospital in Kaduna. Presidential spokesman Malam Garba Shehu in a press release stated that the president on Thursday made an impromptu visit to the hospital to see the victims of the train attack after commissioning cadets of 69 regular corps, Army, Navy, and Air Force of the NDA in Afaka, Kaduna. Before boarding the presidential aircraft NAF 001 back to Abuja from Kaduna International Airport, President Buhari detoured to the hospital, where he also thanked the Nigerian military for their brave services in securing the safe release of the hostages from Boko Haram terrorists. Members of the Chief of Defense Staff Action Committee, led by Major General Usman Abdul Kader, retired, who facilitated the release of the train victims, were present at the hospitals. Others included Major General Adeboye Jalingo, retired, Brigadier General Abubakar Sahad, retired, Dr. Murtala Ahmed Rufai, Ibrahim Abdullahi, Ambassador Ahmed Magaji, and the Secretary, Professor Yusuf Usman. To the next story from Kaduna State to Enugu. There is palpable tension in Nkerefi, in Kano East local government area, LGA of Enugu State, as some unknown gunmen causing mayhem in different parts of Nigeria's southeast region attacked members of a vigilante group popularly known as Neighborhood Watch. Politics Nigeria learned that hoodlums disarmed several vigilante members at the local government during separate lawless visits. It is not yet clear why all the vigilante members did not put up genuine resistance, but this newspaper learned that the villagers are now living in fear. A community leader who does not want to be named told the press there are also allegations that unknown gunmen have taken over the two local government areas, making life more difficult for the residents. An effort to get to the police reaction on the report was unsuccessful, as the Police Public Relations Officer, PPRO, Enugu Command, Daniel Undukwe, did not reply to the text message sent to his mobile phone. From Enugu to Lagos State. The Lagos State Police Command is under fire for concealing the faces of policemen arrested for extortion. On Thursday, a youth narrated how the officers stopped him and called him a Yahoo boy, the Nigerian slang for internet fraudster. In a lengthy Twitter thread, the victim, Oluwagbadura, recalled how he was accosted to Sologi in Abuja, Surulere. Though the officer did not find anything on him, they seized his phone and company laptop. They searched my phone. They called me a criminal for chatting with my friends on WhatsApp. They threatened to shoot and lock me up. Next, they took me to their station. They then forced me to admit to being a criminal. After subjecting the young man to trauma, the police team then asked him to write a statement and bail himself. I transferred 100,000 naira to the POS vendor and then paid 2,000 naira for charges, he told the public. One of them also threatened to deal with Oluwagbadura while he is in a cell and boasted nothing would happen. On Friday, Police Public Relations Officer in Lagos, SP Benjamin Udeyin, announced that the culprit was summoned to the headquarters. The complainant positively identified them all. They have been handed over to the Provost Department for appropriate disciplinary measures, the spokesperson added. But the blood faces of the officers have got Nigerians talking. Some accuse the police of covering the identity of bad eggs who should be exposed. From that story, we go to the foreign story. The Nigerian High Commissioner in Nairobi, Kenya, Ambassador Alhaji Yusuf Yunusa, has reportedly barred a Nigerian resident in the East African country, Anthony Anamuye, from entering the commission. Sahara reporters reliably gathered that on Friday, the decision was sequel to reports published by Sahara reporters on passport racketeering and extortion by officials of the High Commission. Part of the reason for the ban, it was also gathered, is the report of human rights violations of Nigerians by the Kenya police in the form of torture, extortion, and enforced disappearances. Sources from the High Commission told Sahara reporters that Ambassador Yunusa, who has been confined on wheelchair after he suffered stroke early this year, was rattled by a series of reports of inhuman treatment of Nigerian residents in Kenya. When contacted on telephone, Anamoye confirmed the report, saying that the officials had told him on October 4th that he was no longer welcome in the commission. Moving to the next story, which is the sports. Nigerian defender Zaidu Sanusi has signed a new 2-year contract at Portuguese club side FC Porto. The left-back linked up with Dragons from another Portuguese club, Santa Clara, in 2020 and has established himself as a key member of the side. Sanusi scored a crucial goal that earned FC Porto their 30th league title last season. The 25-year-old was linked with a move away from the club this summer, but Porto's hefty price tag scared any and away potential suitors. I am very happy to have renewed my contract with FC Porto until 2027. Moving to the next story within Nigeria, which is sports. MPFL giants Eyimba of Aba have completed the signing of 5 new players ahead of the 2022-2023 football session. The quartet of Chibuke Unwawu, Nonso Nze Diego, Murphy Undoku, and Chijoke Mboma were all signed from Atlant FC Football Club of Owerri. Defensive midfielders James Orosaye linked up with the People's Elephant from Nigerian National League outfit Gateway United. Unwawu, a combative midfielder, has joined on a 2-year deal and served as a direct replacement for Farouk Mohammed, who has left the club after 5 years. That concludes the world news from BGI TV. Before we go, some major headlines. Labour demands wage increase, 6 special allowance. It's a miracle that Nigeria is still one. Redeemed Church Overseer. We also brought to you, Buhari meets with 23 freed Kaduna train passengers. And finally, on sports, Super Eagles defender Zaidu Sanusi pens new 2-year deal at FC Porto. For more updates on YouTube, our handle is Babagagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adeboye. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advert placements only. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. Good evening.
Oh, na, na, na. If you want to know what's going on in city, or you want to listen to the latest news and gist, no stress, oh, just into BGI TV. BGI TV.